Hey guys, and welcome to our first ever viewer response episode. Now, we get quite a few comments on our videos throughout the week, and we don't have a chance to respond to all of them right there on YouTube, but we thought it would be fun to just do an entire episode where we respond to some of the top comments throughout the week.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll get into it. So one of the videos that got the most comments this week was the one about teens thinking the Apple iPhone is lame. So Apple Gnome asked us, was this a scientific survey or some Android fanboy survey? 9 out of 10 teens I know use iPods and iPhones. The rest of us use cheap Androids you can get for $50 at Walmart. Well, first of all, it was done by the youth marketing agency Buzz Marketing Group and published in Forbes. And additionally, Piper Jaffray said that 67% of affluent teens intend on purchasing an iPhone versus 22% with Samsung. Now, this is like, the difference between the two is pretty big, but when you think about it, Samsung has really gained a lot of market share with teens, and that 22% number is huge year over year. So
yeah. So which is the status symbol at this point? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I mean, kids these days, right? Also, Duct Tape Bubbles said, we don't say grody. No, we do not say grody. Well, guess what? No one ever said grody. It was a joke. Like, that's what it is. I don't know.
What era was that? Like, when did people ever say grody?
I think Spicoli in Fast Times at Ridgemont High said grody, and that's where it became a thing and stayed a thing. Kind of like calling hot guys Baldwins and Clueless. Just doesn't exist.
Okay.
All right. And finally, Miss Bro Gaming Channel said, I feel like you've never made an Android hate video. Well, Miss Bro Gaming Channel, we haven't, because all we're doing is reporting the news. We're not making this up. We're just reporting it. So we have no bias as much as people think. We're not saying this stuff for Samsung. It just happened to be in the news that week, so we reported it.
And on that note, here are a couple comments from our Facebook social graph episode. This is where we talked about how Facebook introduced the social graph, which is basically a way to search all of the social data that they've accumulated on Facebook. And Eric Harrison asked, if you were sent back in time, say 200 years, what piece of technology would you absolutely need with you? And mind you, cell phones would have no data, computers, no software updates. This doesn't necessarily have to do with Facebook, but this is just kind of an interesting question in general. What would you want to have as your tech from 200 years ago?
200 years ago?
In the year 1813.
I would say penicillin and the equipment to make penicillin.
Okay.
Because disease is important for me.
Yeah,
I would
that
like
whole cholera thing.
Yeah, I'd like to survive. I mean, I played enough Oregon Trail to know that you need it back then.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, I don't know if like fuel is available, but a car would be a good thing to have, because people spend a crazy amount of time just traveling places.
Right. See, I thought about car, and he said electric car. So, well, he said electricity exists, so you could plug in a car. So if you plugged in an electric car, yeah, it's great. You live in your car. But then you think about the roads, and there were no roads.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
So you would need to bring
like
tires.
An off-road vehicle.
Yeah,
like a nice Jeep.
Yeah, you would need a nice electric Jeep.
A dune buggy.
Yeah,
okay.
Dune buggy.
Anyway, more on the topic of actual Facebook graph. Russell28533 says, perhaps I'm a little too cynical, but if they were actually my friend, I wouldn't need Facebook to tell me what their interests are. I'd already know. Same with the particular restaurant they had previously visited. I would have heard about it from them as we stood around the water cooler BSing instead of working. So this all sounds like an answer to a question that was never asked, but we will all somehow find a way to shoehorn this into our lives and grow dependent on it. I think it brings up a good point, and that was kind of one of my initial reactions to the graph search, is that I'm probably not going to get restaurant recommendations based on my Facebook friends.
No. I don't get recommendations on restaurants from my own friends. Like,
yeah.
I just go to Yelp. I say, hey, what's nearby, and what does a bunch of people I've never met say about this?
Right.
That's just where I get my info
and then there's also the point that the data itself is pretty flawed on Facebook. I mean, how many people do you know actually like list their interests earnestly? No. Like according to search terms.
I mean, I don't have any interests or likes on my page at all, because I didn't want it spammed when they introduced Newsfeed. I didn't want it spammed with all of these things that I like. Suddenly someone would come on and post updates for it that I didn't care about.
Right. Well, it isn't in beta, they're saying, so we'll see where it goes.
Everything's in beta.
960 Aziz said, I bet you won't respond to me.
You're right. Moving on.
Okay, so Chris says, screw you, man. I like cigaros. I don't have anything against cigaros in particular. I was just pointing out the fact that in the world of this Facebook promo video, everybody likes cigaros. Right. They don't really do it for me personally. I'm not into that ambient kind of style, but what about you?
It's great for videos.
And good for falling asleep.
Yeah, good for falling asleep. Yeah. Also, in the we did the Verizon 6 Strikes video this week, and David Bullinoff asked us, "Wait, so I do it 6 times, use a different computer for 3 days, and then can do it forever?" Kind of. See, okay, you're on the same IP address and you'll get 6 strikes no matter how many computers are using that IP, which is why it affects Starbucks and other coffee shops. But it seems like you get 6 strikes and that's it. Like, you're done. They don't shut off your internet. You can continue pirating. You just had to watch a dumb video and give up your information, and then they could come after you. It's just, they slowed down your internet for 3 days, slapped you on the wrist and said, carry on. At least that's what it seems like right now.
So no major consequences.
Yeah,
don't quote us on that, though.
No major consequences.
Please don't quote us on that.
Much like, unlike what Cheetah Wolf here said, great, so soon all of Verizon will be like YouTube, where you get shot to death at your door for uploading half a second of copyrighted stuff. I don't think YouTube is shooting anyone. I don't think they're knocking on anyone's door and be like, excuse me, cat police.
Some slight hyperbole there,
Yeah.
but we get your point.
Yeah.
All right, next question from the Java 7 video. NYR1477 asks, okay, serious question. Why is using Internet Explorer bad, and what is the one I should be using? Okay, it's really easy and really a fun sport to make fun of IE, but they've gotten better. They released a big update in the fall, and to be honest, I haven't really used it, so I can't really knock on it in a serious way, but it was more just an easy knock on IE. But the one that I use is Chrome. I'm okay with it. It's reported to be the fastest browser, but what do you want?
I use Chrome.
Yeah, most of us use Chrome around here.
Yeah.
But whatever floats your boat.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with
Enjoy
IE.
it. And finally, Orpheus asked, where do you guys get these videos from? Well, guess what? We pick them ourselves. Annie and I have very deep knowledge of pop culture, so we can pop them in whenever we feel. But one of the things we wanted to do is ask you, the viewers, to kind of challenge us this week. Come up with a video clip that we can use in one of our videos and one of our news stories this week, and we'll try and kind of ham-fist it in there so it actually makes sense. And the winner, if there is a winner, we'll get a TechFeed t-shirt.
Okay, so do that, get on that, and that wraps up our first ever viewer response segment. Now, we've been
What a title.
Tossing around some ideas to call this segment, and we thought about it really hard this week, and we decided on this. We actually created a graphic for it and everything. Chat Bang.
It's gorgeous. We were gonna call up a billboard company, put this up all over every city in the world.
But it's still a work in progress, and we'd like to ask you guys if you have any suggestions for this segment, and if we choose your suggestion, we will also send you a t-shirt. So there's a lot of t-shirts to go around.
Yeah. So come up with a better title than Chat Bang, and you could have a cool shirt. You really like that one, don't you?
I do. I like that we made a graphic and everything.
Yeah.
It's
good.
But we're open to suggestions. So anyway, without further ado, we're going to get lunch, but we'll see you next time.
Bye.